Yeah, the third one I talked about was not null, which prevents empty values in a record. So if you have not null in your table, doing table creation, like what we have up here, automatically this field can never be empty. It's a mandatory field. However, if you don't have that constraint, not null, system will just automatically default it to what? Null, which means that it can have a null value. Does that make sense? Does it make sense, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the next one we're going to look at is the foreign key. The foreign key. Now, just like we have the primary key, the foreign key creates a relationship between two tables. It creates a relationship between two tables. I told you guys in the last class that the primary key in one table is a foreign key. Some people call it secondary key, but it's a foreign key in another table. I mentioned that earlier in class, if you can remember. Do you guys recall?
Yeah, I remember.
I think you guys should take off your.
Yes, I
your
said it. Yes.
Yes, I said what?
Yes, it's used to like kind of create a relationship or something.
Yes. If they create a relationship between two tables, what do I mean by that? Let me just show you guys. This Zoom is making us. Let me just bring it down a bit, okay, so that I can have more space type. All right. Now, for foreign key, let me type here so that you can take note of that if you want. Create a relationship between two tables. Should I put two? I'll call it two tables. Right? What this foreign key does is that this table exists. Let's assume that we have a table. Let me get a new table. Let's assume that we have a table horses. All these tables I've already have them, and I probably will create them as we proceed. I'm sure you guys would have. You guys know how to create your tables, right? You guys know how to create a table, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Good. Now, let's assume that we have these two tables. We have courses, and we have another table called enrollment, like this, right? The primary key in this table is the foreign key in this table. The primary key in this table is the foreign key in this table. The primary key in this table is the foreign key in the other table. Now look at it. The relationship that happens here is that when you create this table, and this table is just for courses, you have the course number, maybe for those of you that know about GSS 101, you know, those are course IDs, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have the course titles, right? Then you now have enrollment. Enrollment has to now do with what? The students who are taking those courses. You have the enrollment ID, which will be the student ID, which will be the maybe the enrollment ID. Then you have the student ID, the person who is doing that course, and then you must have the what? The course ID again in that table. Okay? What it does is that it ensures that whatever ID you have here automatically is inserted into this table. Whatever ID you have here, course ID you have in this enrollment table, whatever course ID you have in this particular table, this one, is automatically inserted here using this keyword, references.
So reference is also part of a constraint.
It's a constraint, yes.
Okay.
It's a rule. Remember that constraint is what? It's rule, right? It's a rule.
Yes, sir.
In fact, there's something we call default. You can have something like this. Oh, can I have it on this? Okay, let me not jump. I think it will take time, but let me just mention it for mentioning sake. Don't get confused, okay? We have default like this. They are all rules in the sense that this default if you make it default, it means that when, okay, let me put it some, it doesn't sound well in references here. But let's say I have a table called, in this table, I have a column called, let's say I have it called date joined. Am I right? Guys, are we together? Then the data type of date is date, Abi? We all know that, right?
Yes,
Data
dates.
type of date is date.
Dates,
Now,
yes.
I cannot have a default to say that if you don't enter anything, if you don't enter anything in that column by yourself, system should default it to what? System date.
System dates.
Sys date, right? What does this system date mean? System date is just a date that your system, as today's date, as at now. Just so that if you want to avoid empty fields, right? But you don't want to make that field mandatory. I don't know if I'm making any sense here. So remember that if you make it not null, the user must enter it, else he can't submit whatever he's doing. But if you want a system that, it's not mandatory, so that if the person does not enter the date, system should automatically pick a date for him. You can use what? Default. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir, but is it only in date type that you use it? Or can you
No.
just use it in like something?
Let me use this somewhere else so it can make sense. Eh? We have it here in date, and then we can have it here. Let's say we have a class name. Yeah, maybe class name, which is varchar, right? You guys know what varchar is, right?
Yes, sir.
Ayo, can you tell me why I have 100 here?
Because characters vary.
What?
Because characters vary.
Why we have 100 here?
Yeah.
Because characters vary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, who
Maybe it
can
can
help
be more
us?
than 100, right?
Yes. So, which means that whatever we enter in this column should not be more than 100. Ayo, did you forget?
Varchar is variable length, no?
But vaca, who can tell us what vaca is?
Varchar
Variable
is
character.
variable character. Sorry.
And it's used to capture what? Strings, right?
Strings.
Strings. And string is what?
I think
String is
length.
anything you can type, maybe like a sentence or a name. Let's say Abe Victor, right? Let's say Abe Victor is in our class. These are all varchar, right? Or varchar, as you call it. They're all string. Anything in the quote, whether single or double quote, anything inside the quote in programming is a string data type. It's used for sentences or for names or for variables, right? Does it make sense? So
Yes.
what we are saying is that whatever we enter inside this particular variable, IO, should not be more than 100. That's why we have this. If I have it as 40, let's say I have it as 10, and I try to enter this particular thing, which is more than 10. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. There are 28 values in this particular string, right? If I want to insert this into this table, system will not allow me because I'm only expecting a maximum of what? 10 characters in this field. Ayo, is it clear?
Yes.
So if we make it 100 now, tell me, Ayo, what do you think will happen with this value? Let's say that we're trying to insert this value inside this column, and we made it 100. What will happen?
I'm confused on what you're asking me.
So let's say we want to insert this particular thing, this word, Abe Victor is in our class. We want to insert it into this table. What will happen?
I mean,
Will it be successful, right?
If it's up to 100 characters, then yeah.
If it's not up to 100, if it's less than 100, what will happen?
Then error.
No. Who can help out?
So you said if it's
So
up to 100.
it's not up to 100. If it's not up to 100, it will execute.
What we have done, Ayo, let me explain again. See this. The reason why we have these numbers is the maximum we can take for this column is 100 characters. So as soon as it's less than or equal to 100, it will go in successfully, right? But once it's more than 100,
Isn't that not what I said?
was that what she said, guys?
If it's above 100, then error.
If it's above 100, then error. Yeah, Abby, go ahead.
Oh, can we now say this VACA is also a rule that you can use to set the number of, the length or string or the character of what you want in the column?
You can't say
Hello,
it's a
did
rule.
you hear me?
Yeah, it's a data type. It's not a rule. You can't call it a rule yet. Right?
Okay.
You can't call it a rule. It's like setting up your data type. Remember that we said, what is a data type, Abby? Tell us.
Data type. Environment.
Who can help her? How do you forget what a data type is, Abby?
A data type. Can I go on?
Please go ahead.
A data type is a category you want your data to come in. That's how you want your data to. Like
Can you
set
help us out?
Categories of data.
Yes, just like what you said. Abby, do you now understand what a data type is?
Yes, I think I just saw it.
You forgot it. That's because we don't go back. Anyway, your case is different because you've not been feeling well. But please, guys, let's try to always go back to these things. If not, you'll forget it. If not, you'll forget it. And like I said in the first class, one of the things that we're going to do, maybe I will take you guys in different sections. How many of you have a LinkedIn account here? If you have a LinkedIn, let me see your hand up. Okay. If you have a LinkedIn account, we are going to take a look at it and make it better, because the idea is for you guys to package yourself well, but not just packaging yourself. You need to know what you have so that when you're asked some questions, if you go for interviews and you're asked about these things, you should be able to, boldly say this is what it is. But for those of you who don't have LinkedIn account, I'm going to divide you guys in different sections, and we look at our LinkedIn account and make it better. All right? Then create a GitHub account. But please, always try these things out. I believe that after this, I feel rather that after class, like, everybody forgets about this Postgres until next Sunday. And that's not right. That's not the way. We can't learn like that. Please. So data type is what? For instance, if I have this here and I have date here, right? It means that I have set, what I've done is I've set here to say system, whatever enters this thing must be a date. I cannot have this kind of word or sentence inside this column because the data type or data category is only for date category. This one is only for numbers. These ones are for what? Variables or characters or strings, as we call it. Anyway, let's just continue. So I was trying to answer your question better. I think it was better or someone else that asked that question. If we could have, if default only works with date. So let's assume that I've created my class name and I'm saying that default this guy, default to class 1, which now means that if for any reason the person who is putting, let's assume that you're entering these things on your phone now, and you mistakenly did not enter this one because it's not mandatory, system will automatically create a record for you there. But if you enter value inside, system will overwrite this value. If it's clear, I don't know if you guys understand me. If you don't have record in this table, automatically, if you don't have record in that column, if you don't enter any record, system will do what? Would assign this default, this column, this class 1, the title for you. However, if you have your class, maybe let's say class 2, system will recognize your class 2 as your data. Does it make sense? Does it make sense?
So I'm trying to run that default to system date, but I'm getting error.
You're getting error with the system date. Yeah, this is not the syntax for.
Yes.
Let me see your screen.
I'm not using my laptop to join the meeting. I used my phone to join the meeting.
Okay, you're running on your laptop, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So say again.
Okay, I use the same this thing SYSD.
No. This is just an instance I gave. If you want to type, if you want to use for Postgres, this is date is for Oracle, right? This is for Oracle. But if you want to do for Postgres, you use current_date. Current_date. This is what you use.
All right. So
I use that system date to just explain it, right? Change it and try it. Did it work? So let's continue. Right. So we're talking about.
It worked.
It worked, eh?
Thank
okay,
you, sir.
good.
Yes.
Yes. All right. So for Oracle, it's this date. For Postgres, it's current date. So it just gives you the current system date. So automatically, if you insert record and you don't put any value for this one, system will just pick the current date. That's what has happened here. Okay, so I was talking about foreign keys, right? Foreign keys does what? Helps you to do what? Create a relationship between two tables. So automatically, when you enter a course ID here, automatically that course ID will come to this table. Automatically. Just like Beta is trying now, you guys can also try on your own. Okay? Rather, I'm still going to create it in the class here. Just want to explain them first before we continue. Okay, now there are so many other constraints. I don't know if I will have the time to do all of them here. We have the one for check. Let me talk about this one. We have check, right? What does this check do? What is it about? Check ensures that values in your column meet some requirement, condition. What do I mean by that? Let's say, for instance, I have a table like this. Let me delete this one. See this table? I have a table called account. I have my account ID, and I have my data type serial, which is the primary key, and then the balance. If you put this check, you can say that when I'm inserting records into this table, the balance should never be less, should not be less than 0. So if I have something like balance in negative, let's say balance minus 20,000, this, I've set a rule that I don't want that balance to enter my table. I have set a rule that I don't want that balance to enter my table. Again, another thing you can do is, if you have something like, let's say you have a mode of payment, for instance, as a column name, right? And your mode of payment as a column name is, of course, let's say voucher. Let's say you have voucher 10, right? For instance, and then you put check. If you put this check, you can do check to ensure that whatever they are entering is either POS, comma, transfer, comma, hash. If what you're entering is not, if the value you're entering from the front end is not any of this, it will not go. It will not allow you to enter. So you can see that there are so many rules that you can use as a database engineer or data administrator or data analyst, whatever you are going to use this course for, right? Because of course it qualifies you for every of these, different units that you might be interested in. You should know that there are so many there's so many, even after this class, please go back and search for more constraints that you can use. There's so many of them. This is just to expose you to understand that there are constraints, there are things that you can use to do some checks in your system, okay? So if you're entering values, let's say you want to insert record into this particular table account, right? And you come to mode of payment. For mode of payment, if you use check, for this mode of payment, system will check whatever value you're entering. Let's assume that you're entering POSS, like this. Ayo, what do you think will happen?
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Do you have a question? Do you have a question?
Yeah.
Please ask.
What will happen?
Do you understand? Do you understand what this thing means?
I can't see what you're pointing to.
Can you see my cursor?
No.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Can you see this thing that I've highlighted here?
Yeah, check.
Do you know what it does?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
It's like a rule, like a constraint you attach to a column.
What does this particular one do? In this context, in that line, what will it do?
If it accepts a value, then like it passes the condition.
Let me explain it again, guys. See, this check, the definition of this check is that it ensures values in a column meet specific conditions. It ensures that values in a column meet specific conditions. So in this case, it ensures that what? Values in a column meet specific conditions. In this case, we are checking to ensure that whatever value that is coming into mode of payment must either be POS, transfer, or cash.
Or cash.
But if I'm putting POSS, what do you think will happen, Ayo?
Error? Error.
What error would happen? Why would it give us error?
I mean, it doesn't pass any of the condition.
Perfect. That's it. It doesn't meet POS. It's not POS, it's not transfer, it's not cash. But if I have this value coming in, what will happen, Ayo?
What did you say?
If I have this particular one now as my value that I'm trying to insert, what would it do?
Then it will run successfully.
Why?
Because it meets up with the condition.
It meets up with at least one of the conditions. That's fantastic. So you can see that this check helps you to do what? To ensure that your column meets the specific condition you want it to meet. Guys, are we together? If you're confused at this point, can I see your hand up? Okay, that's a thumbs up. If you're confused, can I see your hand up? Abe, are you flowing? Fumi, I've not heard your voice in this class. Is he going? Is he going in? Is he entering?
Yes, sir. Yes, it is, sir.
Okay, good. All right. I may have to stop at this one. This check constraints. I'm sure that other ones would probably on the job will learn those ones. But please take note of these particular ones that we've learned today. The primary key helps you to do what? Uniquely identify each rows in your table. Unique is when you don't want a duplicate record in your columns. You do what? You put the unique constraint. The foreign key helps you to create a relationship between two tables. Not null is when you don't want a value to be empty, or rather a column to be empty, which implies that you want to make it mandatory. Check happens in a lot of things. You can use it to do what? Make sure that the value meets specific conditions. You can see that up here we use mathematical whatever is this. Yes, so you can even say we can do something like this, where value is greater than, let's say, 10 or 100, right? Which implies that if we're entering anything in this place and we're inserting anything less than 100, maybe like 99 or 80 or 90, system will throw error that no, this column is only expecting 100 and above. Does it make sense, my people?
So please, that mode of payment, the voucher, then I said check POS transfer. That is trying to check if it's POS or transfer.
Yes.
I don't really.
So what you're doing here is that once you put this and create a table like this, what will happen is, let me take this off. What will happen is, if you are not inserting, let's say you have entered the ID, you have entered the balance, and you want to enter the mode of payment, you must enter anything in between, any of these values must be entered. You cannot come and enter, let's say, card, because card is not here, right? So these are the mandatory or acceptable values for this column. Okay, these are the acceptable values for this column. You cannot enter card, as you cannot insert card into this because it's not part of these columns or rather these values. Does it make sense better?
Yes, sir.
Are you sure?
No, not really.
So
Not
when
really.
you
I'm trying to like check if I can understand what you said.
Okay, now listen carefully. You know, sometimes you go to an application, your bank application, right?
Yes.
There are sometimes you click some fields that has drop down. And the drop down has some of these things that you want to choose from. It doesn't allow you to enter a new one, but you choose from that drop down, right?
Yes.
This works like that. So this has been created for us to create this rule. We have created this rule to say that, please, this column must only accept either POS, transfer, or cash as the valid data for this column. The valid or acceptable value for this column would either be POS, would either be transfer, or cash. Anything outside these values here will not be accepted.
Okay, so the check function is used to like check if what the person is typing is correct. It's corresponding to what.
The check rule ensures that the column meets specific condition. So you're the one that will decide the condition you want your column to adopt.
So B.
Right?
Okay.
You can come
Yes,
here
sir.
if you want users to be able to enter card, you can include card as part of your what? Conditions.
Conditions.
So what will happen is when the person enters card, right, it will enter successfully. If they choose cash, it will enter successfully. If they choose transfer or POS, it will enter successfully. But if they come and now choose, let's say they choose
ATM.
ATM, thank you. It will not go because it's not part of the rule. We have not mentioned it and say this is acceptable. But these ones here now, we have said that these are acceptable values for this column. So anything out of this particular value should not be accepted in this table. That's the rule that we made. So if you're entering any other value that is different from these ones that has been declared here, system will not allow you to pass.
Run an error. Okay,
Yes.
sir. I understand now. Thank you, sir.
Now you understand, okay?
Yes.
Okay, Ayo, over to you. Tell us.
No, I wanted to ask a question.
Please ask.
Okay, so how does a unique constraint treat multiple null values?
So unique constraint, null value is empty, right?
Yeah.
Yes. If you put unique constraint there, if it's null, it doesn't have any business with it. Okay? It just ignores it. But if you have a value in that place, and you want to have the same value, HSHSH, right? It will not work. You can only have one value. If you have no value, fantastic. Okay? System doesn't bother about null values. But if you have not null value, you have a value, a valid value, and you want to duplicate that same value again, system will not allow it. That's how unique constraint works. Please ask question. Let me clarify further.
Please, I have a question.
Yeah, hold on, Abby, hold on. Ayo, go ahead. Is it clear to you?
Yeah, but one other question. Does the database check all these constraints in a specific order?
No, it just checks them in the order you created them, like this, right? So for instance, this one automatically starts whatever you are doing because you don't even have to insert this one yourself. For you to have this serial, you're not going to insert it yourself. System automatically do that for you. Now, as long as it's making contact with that particular column that has that constraint, that's when it will execute the constraint. For instance, we have this table and we have another, let's say we have another, let's say we have product, and we have varchar, and it can be null, right? Let's say varchar 100, for instance, right? Now, if I have something like this, and the only record I'm inserting is serial number and this particular one, right? System will not bother about the other constraint, except it's a mandatory, a not null constraint, right? Let's have this, let's say description, right? And I have varchar as well. Let me put capital letter, it doesn't matter. Let me say this one can be 10. And I have not null on this guy. So if I'm inserting any record into this table and I want to insert only this one, product, system will come and say, no, this one must be what? Inserted because it's mandatory. Okay? But if I don't have this not null here, and all I want to do is to insert record into, of course, system will automatically insert this one for us, and I want to just insert product and nothing else, right? Because these other ones can be null, they're not mandatory. System will not check this constraint here. It will not check this constraint. It will not even do anything about it because it doesn't have any business with it. You're not impacting the table that has that constraint. Does it make sense? Rather, you're not impacting the column that has that constraint. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Does it?
Yes.
Okay. That is fine. All right, Abby, ask your question.
Sorry, I think I just want to take the class back. To that not null, I didn't get the illustration you made there.
You didn't get the illustration?
Yes, for that not null.
Do you know what not null does?
Yes, you said it prevents empty values in a column.
It makes it mandatory, right? That's what it means, right?
Yes.
Okay, what's your question now?
You know the illustration, the way you enter, like for this, for the other constraint, right? The way you illustrated for that not null, I did not get it.
Don't bother yourself about the not null illustration. I was answering, I think I was answering Ayo's question. However, not null I just said here is that if I have this, just like you know, that this automatically is a rule that makes this description mandatory, right?
Okay.
Not null. Like you can agree with me that it helps you to make the column mandatory field, right?
Yes.
So if you have it here and you're only trying to insert record here without inserting record here, what will happen?
Well, there's a cute, but I still don't get it anyway.
Please ask me. What will happen if I try to insert, if I'm inserting record into this table, into this one that is null, that can take null, right? But I don't add any value for this one, what will happen to it?
It won't go through.
Why won't it go through?
A course is mandatory because the not null will make it mandatory. So when you confuse,
So why are you confused? Because you've answered the question you asked.
yeah, I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. Okay. I'll guess it. I'll watch the video again. I'll guess it.
Okay. It's fine.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
I have a question.
Yes, please.
So, if not null means that you cannot leave the column or the field empty, does
Yes.
that mean that null means you can leave it empty?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Either you put null,
That's what I'm thinking.
either you put null like this, or you don't put it at all, it means null as well automatically by default. If you leave it empty like this, it means that it's not mandatory, it can be empty. Or you put null like this, right?
Okay.
It means the same thing. But once you make it not null, it makes it mandatory. Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. That being said, let's see where we are. So we have covered constraints now, right? And I believe that if I
Please,
wake up,
sorry to drag you back.
yes,
Sorry. So in that that data type serial and constraints. Serial
yeah,
is it a data type or constraint?
serial is a data type. It's number, but
Data
it's
type.
also, yes, it's a data type, yes.
Yeah. So my question is now, if in a case where I just want my table to come in serial number, and I also have like a record of people's account ID, and I want to put it in integer, would I also put like serial then integer, or I'll just remove the serial?
So let me understand you. What you're asking is having something like this, huh? Is that what you're
Yes.
asking?
Yes. Is it possible?
Serial is integer already. Okay? What it only does is, it's integer. What it does is, it increments it by, it increments the ID serially, like this. You have one here. Next record that goes into that table becomes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, serially, right?
Yeah.
That's what it
So
does.
and
Yes.
that's what I'm saying now. Yeah, you know that there are cases where some people who have like a different ID, like maybe PH 101 or something like that, a different ID for each person.
Yes.
And you want to like you want to number your tables
So
at the same time.
you want to number it how? How do you mean number?
You know this serial now, is it just acting like this thing ID? Can't it just
This
act
serial,
like can't it act like you want to just number your table? 1, 2, 3, like how the number table on a normal sense.
I mean, if that's what you are looking for, if you want to use it as number, yes, you can use it as number. You can say, okay, this is numbers, right? Numbers, or say number, record, or whatever, number, whatever you want to call it. Number, or serial number, right? Serial number. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
And then let's say the next one you now have is staff ID, right? Staff ID, which is the one you want to make your primary key, right? And as long as it's going to be unique, yes, it can pass as primary key. We can only have one primary key.
Alright, so you just delete that first one. That's fine.
Just remove it, yes.
Okay.
However, I understand. I think if I understand what you're asking is how to have something like this. Let's say you have a, what's your name now? Better. Let's say you have a database and you want it to be, or let's say TCB now, our class, yeah? TCB, this person's ID with TCB 212, the other person with TCB 214, like that, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yes. Okay, we'll get to that part in this class. You can use, you append this value and allow system to increment this value, but we'll get to that. Don't jump, okay?
Okay, sir.
So I know that you're thinking, your imagination is now going far, which is a good thing, right? Which is good, but you append, you can use append for it. So you append the value you want as the constant. Is the constant. TCB is going to be constant across board, and then the numbers can now be different. You have 213, 214, you have TCB 215, right?
Yes.
Like that. And some people can also have, you can have, what's it called now? You can have random. System can randomly generate, you tell system how you want it to generate it, maybe alphanumeric. System automatically generate a unique key or unique ID for you. Let's say this person is GSH 25 or whatever, another person becomes something else. System just does it, right? Another person is something, let's say K, automatically. All those are possible. Okay?
So if you want to go random is another constraint.
Is another, yes. So, but when we get to that, don't skip so that you don't confuse yourself and maybe others in the class.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So, unfortunately, 2 hours is gone already. See, that's why we need more time in this class. So let's do 3 hours. Is that okay, guys? Can we do 3 hours? Because we haven't even covered anything in this class. Can we do 3 hours?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I'm only hearing two people's voice. If you are against, if you want us to stop the class exactly 2 hours, that is in 8 minutes time, can I see your hand up? So if you want us to continue the class for another 1 hour, let me see your hand up. Are you tired? You're tired, eh? Sorry. Let's just do 1 more hour, okay? Because we haven't really done anything today. We planned on doing 3, 4, 5, 6, and we are still in 3.
That's fine.
Let's just okay. So far, let's just do another 1 hour. So far, we all understand everything about constraint now, right? Do we all understand everything around constraints?
Yes.
You can take a look at this one. Serial, we've done serial, big serial. Next thing I want to talk about is the 4th one, right? The 4th one, which is inserting and modifying data. So we're going to be inserting, we're going to be updating, deleting, and all of that. Okay? That's what we're going to be handling today, right now. So some of you that created the table last time in class, let me also warn that in the next 6 minutes, our class may drop us. So as soon as it drops us, let's quickly join the class immediately, okay? Are we together?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I think everybody's tired.
I'm not tired, sir. I speak for myself.
Anyway, if you're tired, just get a bottle of water. The idea is that we must learn, Abi? We must learn. Okay, so I'm going to take off this thing. I'm sure that most of you, all of you, I believe, would have created your tables right now. I have my table here, inventory, which is Abe. Maybe I should create a new table, right? So let's all create a new table. Okay, let me create this table, employee table.
Please, what should we name the table?
No, what?
Sorry. You said we should create a table. I'm asking, like, what should we name the table?
No, it depends on you. You don't have to create it now. You can also listen and create later. but just so that we can continue. Yes, Solomon, ask. Solomon, I'm listening. Your hands up. Okay. I'm going to create this one in the cost schema, okay? So I call it AB underscore cost dot employees. Now, employee name, employee ID will come as serial, which is the primary key. Let me call this one employee underscore name, which is the name of my employee. The email address, I've made it unique. The email must be unique. The age, integer, and I'm checking to ensure that my employee must be what? Above what?
18 years.
18 years.
18.
Now, anyway, let me not, this is what I'm trying to create. Who can tell me what I'm trying to do here? Let me see how many of you understood what we did earlier.
They are trying to pull out the data from the
I mean,
initial
this
one.
one. I mean, this one. This reference, what does it mean?
Your reference. You're trying to get the data from the previous department.
Reference.
Department ID.
I say reference. I'm trying to do what? Create a relationship between. Remember,
The
reference is the keyword that we
department
use for
ID.
our foreign keys, right? Don't worry, we'll get to that point. Let me not. I think I'm giving you guys a lot to take in all at once. Let me take it easy. Okay, so I have emp ID, I have email address, I have age, and here remember that we checked. We are checking to ensure that age is greater than or equal to what? 18, which implies that any of our staff in this company, whatever company we are, right? In a big company must be greater than what? 18 years. If it's less than 18 years, system will not allow you to pass. Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Quiet in this class, guys. Charlie. Is it that the clipper is not sharp or the barber is not good?
It makes sense, sir. It makes sense.
Okay, let me create my table. Okay, you can see that I've created my table, happy employees. And to confirm that, I just come here, refresh. If I refresh this, in Abby cost, I now have table. I have one table called employees, right? And if I want to run a simple select query, if I want to fetch all the record in that table, I can do what? I can do select all or asterisk from this table, right? If I do this and I run it, system will give me whatever record we have in that table. But right now we don't have any record in this table, so that's why it's empty, right? Now, for this class, for this session, okay, it's going to drop in the next 1 minute. So let's quickly join as soon as it drops us. Okay. Okay, welcome back, guys. Welcome back. So I was trying to. We have created our table, and this is to check if there are data if we have data in the table. So right now we don't have data. Okay. Now the first thing that we're going to be looking at today, right now, is the insert. Ayo, please
Yes,
tell
are
me
you
why.
still recording?
Yes, I'm recording. Ayo,
Yeah.
why do we have double hyphens here?
I don't know. That doesn't look like a command.
Ayo, when last did you open your laptop?
Huh?
When last did you open your laptop? When last?
I'm on my laptop right now.
I mean, after the class last week. Did you open it again till today?
I opened it yesterday.
What did you check? Did you check Postgres?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I
Who
try?
can help? Who can help Ayo here?
Can I try?
Please try.
I think it will help the system not to see it when you put it double. I don't know whether I'm correct. We grade
You're
it
very,
out.
you're very correct. It's called commenting. Ayo, we talked about this in class. If you want to use it as a description, you can use it as a description. You can say insert is the topic right now. And if I run it, system will not see it and throw error because this is not a valid syntax. But if
So
I
it's
don't
not
do
a
that,
it's not a command.
it's a command, it's a comment. See, as it is now, if I run this now, see the error I'm going to get. You see the error? Syntax error, right? Insert is the top. But if I come here and put this, and I want it to be there as a description, if I run it, it will run because system doesn't understand or see it anymore. I've graded it out. Do we understand? Do we understand?
Yes, sir.